If you have skinny wrists and you've been training for months with nothing to show for it down there, this video might finally explain why. Stick around, because today I'm breaking down 3 exercises that can actually make your forearms look thicker, even if your wrist bones never change. And yes, I'll explain exactly why the bones part matters. This is simpler than you think, and it's backed by real research. Before exercises, here's what most people miss. If you don't understand this, you'll train wrong muscles for months with no results. Today we'll cover why wrists look the way they do, 3 effective exercises, and a simple weekly plan. Let's start. The truth about skinny wrists. So here's the thing most people don't know. Your actual wrist joint, the bony part where you wear your watch, does not grow much after puberty. That's just how the human body works. The wrist itself has no real muscle tissue. It's mostly bone and tendons. Now, before you click away, hear me out. Because this is actually good news. The muscles that sit just above your wrist, in your forearm, can respond very well to training. And when those forearm muscles develop, they can create a visual effect that makes skinny wrists look noticeably thicker. It's not magic. It's just proportion. A developed forearm next to a narrow wrist looks strong and defined. An undeveloped forearm next to a narrow wrist just looks thin all the way through. So the goal isn't to grow your wrist bones. The goal is to build the muscles around them. And that is very much possible. Here's something interesting too. Forearm muscles tend to recover faster than most other muscle groups in your body. That's why some arm wrestling athletes train their forearms almost every single day. Not going all out every session, but consistent, regular work. We'll talk about that more when we get to the programming section. Exercise 1. The Rock Climber Method. All right, let's get into the first exercise. And this one comes from an unlikely place. Rock climbers. If you've ever seen a rock climber's forearms, you already know what I'm talking about. They tend to have some of the most developed forearms around, and they're not doing bicep curls to get there. They're hanging from small edges for hours, putting their grip muscles under constant tension. A study on rock climbers measured which grip positions activated forearm muscles the most. What they found was that a specific grip style called the crimp grip activated a deep forearm muscle called the flexor digitorum profundus at an extremely high level. This is the muscle that controls your fingertips and runs through your entire forearm. When it develops, it adds thickness right down near the wrist where you actually want it. The exercise is called a crimp grip dead hang. Here's how to do it. Find a pull-up bar. Instead of wrapping your whole hand around it, grip it with just your fingertips. Your fingers should be bent slightly at the first knuckle, like you're gripping the edge of a shelf. Your thumb can wrap around for extra support if needed. Now, just hang. Arms straight. Don't try to pull yourself up. Just hold the position and let your grip muscles do the work. One important thing to mention here, this exercise does put stress on your finger tendons. So please start light. Keep one foot on the ground, or use a resistance band under your feet for assistance. If you feel any sharp pain in your fingers, stop immediately. This is not an exercise where you push through discomfort. Start with 10 to 20 second holds. Do 3 or 4 sets. Rest about 3 minutes between each one. Only progress to full body weight hanging once you can hold for 30 seconds comfortably without any finger discomfort. By the way, if you're finding this useful so far, consider dropping a like. It genuinely helps more people find this kind of content. Exercise 2. The old school bodybuilder method. The second exercise comes from an older era of bodybuilding, when lifters relied on experience instead of scientific tools. One effective move they used, now mostly forgotten, is the behind-the-back finger curl. At first glance, it may look unnecessary, but it targets deep forearm muscles in a unique way. Unlike regular wrist curls, this exercise forces the barbell to roll down into your fingertips with each rep due to gravity. Before your wrists even engage, your fingers must curl the weight back up. This finger-first motion is what activates the muscles that build thickness near the wrist, something standard wrist curls don't fully achieve. To perform it, set a barbell at hip height in a rack. Stand facing away. Grip it behind your back with palms outward, and lift it. Let the bar roll to your fingertips, then curl your fingers first, followed by your wrists. Squeeze at the top, then lower slowly. Aim for 3 sets of 12-15 reps with light weight. Exercise 3. The science-backed one. The third exercise targets a muscle that most people have never even heard of. It's called the pronator teres. It sits on the inner part of your forearm, just below your elbow crease in that thick area between your elbow and the middle of your forearm. Its job is to rotate your forearm. That twisting motion when you turn a doorknob or pour water from a bottle, that's this muscle working. Research published in the International Journal of Sports Physical Therapy found that rotation exercises can activate the pronator teres at around 73% of its maximum capacity. That's significantly higher than standard wrist curls. When the pronator teres develops, it adds width and thickness to your upper forearm. And that extra upper forearm size actually creates a taper effect that can make your wrist look more defined by comparison. It creates proportion rather than just bulk. Here's how to train it. Grab one light dumbbell, 5 to 10 pounds is a good starting point. Sit on a bench. Rest your forearm flat on your thigh with your wrist hanging just past your knee so it can move freely. Hold the dumbbell with your palm facing upward. Slowly rotate your forearm inward, turning your palm from facing up to facing down. Go as far as you comfortably can. You should feel the inside of your forearm working just below the elbow. Pause for a second there, then slowly rotate back. Do 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps per arm. Use light weight here. This muscle responds better to endurance and control rather than heavy loading. Rest 60 seconds between sets. And if you're sitting there wondering which of these 3 exercises is the most important, honestly, do all 3. They each target different muscles, and they complement each other well. How to put it all together? Here's the good news. You can do all 3 exercises in one short session at the end of your regular workout. Forearms recover relatively quickly, so this won't interfere much with your other training. Start with 2 to 3 sessions per week. That's enough for most people to see progress over time. If your recovery feels good after a few weeks, you can increase to 4 or 5 times per week. Just one thing to keep in mind, don't do this right before exercises that require a strong grip, like deadlifts or pull-ups. Save it for the end of your session. For the first 2 weeks, focus purely on learning the movements. Use light weight. Week 3 and 4, start adding small amounts of weight if your form feels solid. From week 5 onward, keep progressing slowly. If your technique starts to break down, stay at the same weight a little longer. And remember, don't go to failure every set. Around 7 or 8 out of 10 effort is plenty. Training consistently at moderate intensity tends to produce better long-term results than going all out every single time, and then needing days to recover. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more. Take care, keep showing up, and I'll see you in the next one.